What's up, guys? 5 o'clock. It's our Herbs Happy Hour. Hope everybody's doing good, doing well. Proper English. Let's see. Hope everyone's doing good. All right, people coming on now. Yeah, so God, I can't think. Let me turn this down a little bit. Holidays coming up, guys. You know what that means. That means you can leave your pants off. You can go to herbcider.com and you can get cider sent to yourself, to your family. 21 and over, gotta be there to sign. Well, I don't know, actually. I think they might just drop it. I don't think they're signing anymore. Yeah, so you don't even need your pants on. Join a club. I know most people are used to wine clubs. Cider Club is, hold on, I'm going to bring it up. I'm looking on the website. I want you guys to see. I talked about it last week real quick. So yeah, we've got the clubs. 3 clubs you can get. The first one, you get $40. You get 4 6-packs. And mostly of our, well, I guess they'll kind of throw in what we have, because that's changing all the time, but it's usually pretty much what you see on the site. And then you get a little discount on the merchandise, and if you ever come in the tasting room, you get a discount on there too. Yeah, that's called the Percussion Club. $40 every, what are we doing every quarter? What's that? Every 3 months. Sorry, I'm trying to get my brain together. Every 3 months, Percussion Club, $40. That's not a big deal. What is that? $13 a month, maybe? Yeah, I think that's about right. Then you step up to the Rhythm Club, $55. You get 3 bottles now. Now you're talking. You can get some high-end bottles going. 3 bottles. You get 15% off of merchandise and cider. And once we get our tasting room open, of course, we will hook you up in there as well. But if you want to be the true Mac, the guy that everyone's going to say wow, or the girl, they're just going to go wow, you're super cool. You give people the battery. That's a Metallica reference. $90 every 3 months. So that's pretty simple. 3 bottles coming to you, plus you get a 6-pack. Well, we got 1, 2, 3, 4 different styles. So you're gonna get a 12-pack of cans as well, and 20% off. So come check out herbcider.com. This happy hour is brought to you by the wonderful people at Herb Cider, where all your wildest dreams come true. And this is, I'm drinking right now, we got our special, the hopped cranberry. Now, this is called our, well, not a fancy name, seasonal release, because these are going to be changing. Right now we got a seasonal release of cranberry and hopped. Here, let me hold that up. And this is what it looks like. All right. Hold on, let me... sorry, back to you. This is what it looks like. Nice, deep red, cranberry hopped cider. All right. Oh, wait, Fry Guy, yo. He's, Fry Guy's drinking it up. And this is the can. All right, so we can get you a 6-pack. Right. 12-pack, actually. You got to have a minimum just because of shipping issues. We need it to be a minimum 12 cans. The way it's listed on the site, it says 1 bottle. That means 1 bottle is equal to 1 6-pack. Not sure if it'll show up on your end as a bottle, but anyways, the idea, you gotta, it'll ask you, it'll tell you to order another one. You have to select 2 6-packs just for shipping. Yeah, Goobs there. Whoa, what's up? My long-distance technical producer saying hi to all the Michigan people. And we have another one that's come out. This is called The Better Together. It's a blend. We have 3 cider companies out here in the Pacific Northwest. Herb Cider, as you would guess, Archibald James, and Snowdrift. They all got together. We all got together. And they did this blend. It's a collaboration. Cider is better together. So, and also the hop cranberry is also benefiting. Money from these are going to ALS, cider for, let's see, the ALS, what's it called? Ales for ALS was the beer side of it. They started doing the cider for ALS. And we are one, if not the first. I could be wrong, but I remember hearing we were going to be one of the first ciders in the program, raising money to help the ALS. So you guys go onto the site, order this up so we can make some stuff happen. And as I said before, we've got the club where you get bottles like this. Look at this. This is super amazing. Wine sap. This is a great cider-specific apple, and it looks all fancy like this. This is a 750 milliliter. When you join those clubs, you can get this stuff sent right to your house. You don't even have to think. It'll be there. We'll send you a notice that says, hey, we're about to ship out. Make sure everything's good on your side with payments and stuff, and it'll be shipped to you. Here's a Gravenstein apple, cider specific. Gravenstein apple, which reminds me down in Sebastopol where all the Gravenstein apples were growing like crazy in the past. As you might have seen, we have a Primus show coming up that we filmed a couple weeks ago. They are working on it, putting it all together, so it'll be out next Friday is the plan. So be sure to get that, check it out. We got good merch things coming up. We got custom posters that were done for this. I think it was, oh man, I think they did. Yeah, I think they did them specifically for this show. We got some serious poster artists, some of the big guys, the pros out there. So they're really cool. Be sure and get that. Oh wait, Shama's got something up here. Cider for ALS is an org supporting Lou Gehrig's disease. Supporting the research to stop it. Go to herbcider.com. Yes, get this hopped cranberry cider. So you go to our club. You can join the clubs, and we'll send you special of these specialty things like the Private Reserve. This is an amazing one as well. Oak aged. We've got bourbon barrels. We've got cognac foeders, which are big giant barrels that had cognac in them for 40 years. And then they pulled the cognac out, and then we got a hold of those barrels, and we've let cider sit in them for a year. Long time. So we've got some really cool stuff coming up. We've got stuff like the 7.4, the bourbon barrel aged. This is one of my faves. Also, don't forget about our beautiful birdie juice, you guys. That can come to you. No pants needed. Black Note coming to you. No pants needed either for that one. You might need pants for this one. This is the double stroke dry. This is awesome. They're all awesome. And here's the rim shot. This is a hop for all the beer drinkers. Okay? If you're into beer, you want to lighten it up a little bit, so you're not you're getting old like me and you want to ease up on stuff, on the old calories and sugars and the belly. Get that, the rim shot hazy hopped. We have all that on herbcider.com. All right, so there's 10 minutes of promo for our cider that we have. Go to herbcider.com, right on the main page, and you'll see. Whoa, what happened? You'll see we have the info right on the main page, first thing. All right, so today, you guys, I saw we have possible the vaccines might be coming out. They might work. I don't know. But I thought, hey, let's bring our buddy Charles, see if he'll join us, and we can discuss the virologist at a very big pharmaceutical company. There he is. He's the man right there.
How you doing?
What's up, Charles?
Things are good. I was able to get
Oh, there he goes.
some cider.
Yeah.
It came fast. I think I ordered it like Monday or Sunday or something, and it came pretty quickly. So that's
Oh, wow.
fantastic.
That's cool. At least we know our guys aren't sitting around wasting time.
No, not at all.
Well, they're working hard. Yeah, well, good. There you go, guys. You see, you can get that cider right away. So, well, yeah, Charles Wartchow here. Let me see if I can say that better. Charles Wartchow here. And, yeah, I asked you to see if you'd be able to come on and let us know about, all this vaccine stuff. I know we have someone like me who might be just your basic, not sure what to think about the vaccines, so might be a little afraid to take it, not sure what the side effects could be, all that. So I wanted to see
Yeah.
if you had what you got, what you know.
Yeah. So the history, even running up to this, is looking good for vaccines in terms of efficacy. So does it work or not is the question. But there is no guarantee. So we have to get it in people, and then we have to see how that plays out. What it looks like for Pfizer and also Moderna has a vaccine out. We can talk more about those and what they are and what the risks are shortly. And so that it's pretty exciting. So they've gone through phase 3, and the Pfizer vaccine has actually been approved in the UK. So they're getting ready to launch that in the UK, and so that's good news. And the that both of those trials for both Moderna and Pfizer, they did comparisons of people that got the vaccine with people that didn't, and they're definitely seeing that it works in the people that got the
Oh, really?
vaccine. Yeah, and they're seeing like really good efficacy. So that's
So,
90 to 95%, which is really amazing.
so just real quick, when you say it works,
Hmm.
so what does that mean? That means if people take it, they won't get sick, or you might get sick, but it won't be bad, or
It's
you know,
probably a mixture of both. The
really.
mostly what it is that they're not getting sick. So they're looking for coronavirus cases, who gets it and who doesn't get it. And I think they did. I should have pulled down the numbers, but it was a significant number of people. Was it maybe tens of thousands? Was it 100,000? Or something like that. And then the infection rates are low, as we know. It's like 1 in 10,000 or something like that. And so I think I recall that there were like, for the people that didn't get the vaccine, there were several hundred cases of coronavirus, and then for the people that did get the vaccine, it was very low numbers, like a few, something like that. So it definitely looks like it's working.
Wow. So this really could be something that could open up the world, basically.
Yeah, and it looks pretty promising, and there's a good history of science behind it too. So it's well understood how this is working and why it's working. So that also is supportive of a good program.
Really?
Yeah.
Why? Why? What? Well, I guess what I'm thinking is, the cold virus. Like,
Yeah.
how come? Is this just it's such a serious thing with the code that or with the coronavirus, that all of the progress just kind of was really concentrated,
Yeah.
and they made it happen?
Yeah, there's actually two answers to that question. One is you mentioned the cold virus. So cold virus is a virus that mutates quickly, and so it's hard to generate one vaccine against a cold virus. It's really hard to do that, and it's the
Really?
same with the flu too. So the flu, we can make some progress, but the flu is constantly mutating. There's dozens of different strains that are present, and we only get vaccinated for like three of those strains that we knew about last year. And so with coronavirus, right now there's really one virus, and we know its structure, and we know its sequences, and we know how it behaves, and so that means we can generate a vaccine which is very specific for that virus. So we know how to make that vaccine, we give it, and then when it's generated, when the body raises an immune response, then that vaccine will work and take out that virus. And so that's what's going on. Basically, right now the virus is stable, and we can make a vaccine that will take out that one population of virus.
Really?
It-
Wow,
yeah,
that's interesting.
maybe population of virus is an oxymoron,
Jeez.
but
Wow.
so
Okay.
that's really encouraging.
That really is. I know a lot of us musicians are, have, tours booked and stuff,
Yeah.
and we're hoping that we can get back to work coming this next summer. I heard, what do you know about timelines in terms of how they're going to do it?
Yeah, that's still an unknown. I know that so this particular vaccine, to get back to your earlier question, like why did it work? Why did we get it so fast? So there's two reasons. One is, as you mentioned, it's just been an Herculean effort. Like every major pharma company is working on this. There's also a lot of new technology that's been developed in the last like 3 to 5 years even, and and so between the technology advances and the focus on this disease worldwide, that's why we have this vaccine now, and and actually the trials is the main thing that we have. So right now we have trial data out of phase 3. It's been approved in the UK. It'll probably get approved in the US. Probably in short order. I would imagine within months in the US too, but we'll
Right.
see. And so that's how that worked. And then when is it coming? So this vaccine is it's called an mRNA vaccine. So it's basically a piece of RNA that gets injected into your arm, I think is where they're going to inject it. And then that piece of RNA codes for a protein from the SARS virus, and then your body raises an immune response to that protein. And so making the mRNA vaccine, that's the technological aspect that I was telling you about. People know how to make RNA now, and they can make that pretty quickly. And so that's one of the reasons we were able to do this trial so quickly. And so the manufacturing of that agent, the mRNA agent, is easier than other methods, which we can talk about at some point. And so what I've seen is I think maybe some millions of doses that are going to come in pretty short order, and then they're going to be distributed around the world too. So millions isn't enough for the U.S., right? It's enough for some small countries and that sort of thing. So my guess is we'll hear more about that in the coming months. We'll get more about the delivery schedules, the
Right.
potential delivery schedules on that. And what's going to happen most likely is the first wave is going to be reserved, or the first wave of inoculations will be, or vaccinations will be reserved for people that are highest at risk, right? Probably elderly,
Right.
immunocompromised, and that sort of
Yeah,
those
that
those
makes
people.
sense.
Yeah.
Right. That makes sense. And then work their way down to just general people can just drive
Yeah.
up and get one once.
Exactly.
Huh.
Yeah. So I would hope, we'll see. I don't know how hard these are, and I haven't read the reports on the manufacturing. It's probably not even out there yet. But, I would hope by, within 3 months or so, maybe in 6 months, we should start vaccinating, the general populations. I'm hoping, but we'll have to wait and see how that plays out.
Wow. And was your company involved in some of this in a way?
I think we were. I saw something. We're not a vaccine company. We've got some other technologies.
Right.
And we're a pharmaceutical company, so we're working on some of those aspects as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I like it's such a big company. I don't know all the things that go on.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, we're definitely working on some aspects of it.
Okay.
Not these vaccines that we're looking at now.
All right, right. But you're able to find out are you able to get more of the encompassed information than say someone like us who are out here on Google?
Not really. I think,
Really?
Google's yeah, it's what's different about me is that I have the scientific background to understand what's important when I read the same things that you have access to.
Okay.
And so I know the language, I know what they're talking about, and I basically what I do is ping from various sites to try to get a cohesive story. And New York Times has a really nice section on vaccines, like what they are, which ones are coming. There was another site too that I was hoping to cite, but I couldn't find it. So the news reports are pretty good. The reputable sites are pretty good. And then what I can do also is read the things that you probably wouldn't read, which are the scientific journals too. So like
Yeah.
Nature and Science, and so
Right.
I can and they'll have a more credible scientific description of what's going on.
Yeah, as long as they have pictures, I might be okay.
They often do.
Yeah, really. Dang. Well, how are you feeling about it? You think it's this might be making a turn for the good?
Yeah, I'm definitely optimistic about it. I share, you mentioned your own concerns about wanting to take a vaccine, right? And we can talk
Well,
about
I'm
more
sure
about what,
most people would, you know?
yeah, and I share that too. And I'm like, why am I wondering about this? I know what these things are and all that. And
Right.
it's just a fair question. It's this is a new thing, and not everyone's taken it. And so, my own stance is going to be, well, I'm healthy, my family's healthy, we don't have any, of the conditions, right,
Right.
we're worried about. I do have, my parents are in Maryland, and I probably won't go to see them for a while, and my mother-in-law's nearby, and
Right.
so we got to be careful about that. But overall, we're healthy, and we can monitor, and and we're doing bubbles, and our county just went on lockdown as
Oh,
well. We're
that's
going
right. That's
yeah,
right. Where are
so we're
you?
going back
Where are
to
you? You're. Do you live far from Emeryville?
not too far, so about 15 miles away from Emeryville.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard we have friends in Alameda that said they were getting shut down.
Yep.
What does that?
Yeah.
What does that mean for you guys right now? I mean, at what level is it?
Yeah, it's stay at home and don't go out unless it's essential. And so that means grocery store probably, and maybe medical, and that's probably it. And the question is, will they enforce that? I mean,
Right. I was gonna say, yeah.
probably
How do
not.
you enforce that? Yeah.
Yeah, they're probably not going to enforce it, but that's going to be the recommendation.
Yeah, I definitely. I know on YouTube I saw like some guy walked into some place without a mask. It was on YouTube. It went viral. And they just like choked the guy out, dragged him
Yeah,
out.
yeah.
Like they just went full on this guy. So I would like it'd be funny to see that in America.
Yeah,
Someone.
yeah. I saw a guy at the grocery store, and he was clearly he was cocky about it, and I was really kind of upset about it because
Mm,
it's a local grocery store, and the people, and like they had to close the grocery store because one of their employees got infected, and they had to change their personal protection equipment where they're wearing a mask and then a shield on top of that
right.
after that event, and I just thought how callous, this guy can't wear a mask when he and make these people a little bit safer while he buys his groceries, and so it's a little irritating. And you know how I feel
Yeah.
about masks. We got to wear them. So
Yeah, it works. I mean, I still it's still amazing. Like I've had you've come on. This is your third time, I think, and we were
hmm
talking about masks and stuff. I mean, how simple it is, right? Just, I mean,
it's so easy.
maybe if you just remind people real
Yeah.
quick.
Yeah, so the masks, they basically there was my favorite video, which I looked at when the first time I was preparing for our conversation was there was a skeptic, and then someone had to blow out a candle. We all could blow out a candle, and then he put a mask on and then tried to blow out a candle. You can't blow out the candle, like the velocity isn't there, and so. And so the masks basically slow down the velocity of our air, and that's where the virus is. So it's in our nasal passages, it's in our respiratory system, and when we just talk, we're emitting aerosols that come out and they contain viral particles, and then that's the risk of transmission is when we have two people close together without masks, one infected and one not. The other person, if they're there for any length of time, will get infected. It's just how it's going to work. And so the masks basically stop that velocity transfer for sure. And then the mask will also catch some of the larger droplets if it's worn properly, and you got to wear it above above your nose, and it's
Yeah.
got to cover your mouth, right? And then ideally it's the one with the little wire in it, so you can kind of squeeze it around your nose so that you're not breathing up into your glasses and fogging your glasses and all that sort of thing.
Oh,
So
yeah.
masks are really crucial. They're really important for this, and we just got to do it. Is for the next if we all do it and we all for like a month or so, this will go away is the prediction, but it's hard to get everybody to do that.
God, yeah. It's so crazy, man. Like it seems like if 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 this is as serious as, you see on the news and everything, you think there would be actually policing of it, of just
Yeah,
because I know they did that in Spain. We had a friend over there right when they were shutting down, and if they caught you out and you weren't going to a pharmacy or a grocery or a doctor, they'll
yeah,
pick you up and they'll take you home, or you'll get a ticket and they'll take
yeah,
you, or they might even just take you in,
yeah.
like pick you up off the street. And yeah, if this thing is that serious that it's killing that many people, then I wonder why aren't they, I mean, and it's like a massive terrorist attack. Why aren't they
Yeah.
enforcing this stuff, you know?
Yeah, I think there's a couple of reasons. One is I think there's still a lot of skeptics out there because there's a lot of propaganda how it's not about how it's not real, and that's
Right.
clearly a factor. And then the other factor is even still like now, the cases are taking off, the death rate's going up, and the death rate is still like about as it's right at where it was when it was at its peak in like May. And so it's still, so right, that's kind of, calibration. We're not like, off the charts. The number of cases are going up, but that could be testing. It may not be testing. But the fatality rate is about what we've seen, at our worst earlier this year, and that's going to be more concerning if it doubles or triples or and that sort of thing. But right
Right.
now it's not. It's kind of in check. So that's important. And but the other side of it is, I think that a lot of people are skeptical about, are they going to get infected or not? And I think because the infection rates are so low, like I know a few people only that have been infected throughout the several months, right? So a lot of people kind of say, well, I don't know anybody that's infected, and even if I get it, I'll probably be okay. So I think that's driving this too, is that it's just dangerous enough where it can kill people, but it's only fatal to a small percentage of the population, and I think that's kind of driving people's behaviors and decisions.
Oh, wow. That's true, huh? They just don't care.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Wow. Bummer. Well, shoot, man. Um, how's your cider?
It's awesome. I love it. It's like like from tasting the other ones, I kind of had a feeling what it would taste like, and it tastes exactly like I thought it would taste. It's refreshing, a little bit of cranberry and a little bit of hop in there, and extremely refreshing.
Nice. Yeah, Chris, our cider maker, is pretty amazing at coming up with these great mixtures. Um, so yeah, we have that cranberry goes for the ALS. Do you have any information on ALS and
Yeah, I know a little bit about
that
it. There's
stuff?
one of my daughter's soccer pals. Her sister has ALS, and we did a walk, and it's just it basically paralyzes the musculoskeletal system, and then people just their breathing doesn't work anymore, their body shuts down, and their muscle mass goes away. It's really the debilitating disease, and it's awful to watch, and it's hard to imagine going through that, and it's a long, slow process. So it's many, many, many years, and so it's hard to see that. And I met this sister, and so I don't know much about treatments. I know there aren't a lot of options, and I don't know the genetic, or is it genetic? Is it what's going on there? Is it a heterogeneous disease with multiple things? I don't know too much about that one right now.
Oh yeah. Have you done any work in that area?
Not in that one. One of
Yeah.
the few areas I haven't done any work in.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, I'm wondering if we could maybe answer some questions. I
Absolutely.
know we got some people on here. Do you guys have any questions about this virus? You kind of got the briefing that we've kind of known. heard a little about on news and stuff. I don't think there's any secret stuff, like Charles said, that only he can find out about. So it's possibly all the, what do you think, all the news, the news channels are talking about, is it all kind of pretty much in the same correct area of
Yeah, I think so.
information?
The vaccines are working. It's coming out. It's I think one thing that I haven't seen a lot of data, and you touched on, is the safety profile, which will come out. I've seen it. The vaccine companies, so Pfizer and Moderna, are saying that it's safe and there's minor symptoms, a little bit of fatigue, maybe a headache, and maybe a little bit of pain at the site of injection. But it looks like it's going to be safe. I mean, it looks like it's going to be well tolerated, and it looks like it's going
Okay.
to be okay.
Well, we've got Shama's asking, realistically, when will this go back to being open? So
Yeah, that's
a hard one, right?
it is a hard one.
Because
So let's
they're
say,
thinking April is the possibility of getting the masses done, right? Outside of once all the frontline people and
that would make sense. Probably 4 to 6 months from now, that would make sense. I think what will happen is for the event, I can't figure out what's driving like what's driving like all the shutdowns of the concerts. Is that a statewide thing, or is that a promotion? The promotion companies are choosing to do that. Do you know what's driving that?
I really that's a good one. I would assume it's just literally the states probably saying, you cannot have mass gatherings,
Yeah,
and and I'm not exactly sure if they need, special permits for each of their events or something. I don't know really how it is,
yeah,
like a venue, what's required, but I would imagine even if it was open, they know they can't. I mean, even restaurants can't even have full capacity. How are we
that's
even going to
true.
have 3,000 people in a place?
Yeah,
It would have to be a stadium.
yeah,
And then in order to rent out the stadium to have a show,
yeah,
there's just doesn't make sense financially. Everyone would just go broke. So
yeah. That's true.
I would assume it's from the state
State.
level of not
Yeah.
even being allowed to do that.
My guess is that somebody, and I don't know if this is going to be a global, or a national thing, CDC or National Institutes of Health. We'll have to see most likely the transmission rates go down and the fatality rates go down, significantly, I think. And the question is, what significantly is it? It's probably more than a factor of two now that it's taken up so much. But somewhere close to baseline, where we've made a big reduction in the number of cases, number of positive tests, and then also I think the fatalities too, reductions in fatalities will be important too. And then what those numbers are, it's hard to predict. But I think that will be the case. We'll have to see some measurable impact from the vaccine, and then things will open up again.
Right. Do you know, does the US account for all of the international statistics, as well? Like, are all the statistics used kind of together?
I think they're separate, and I know they get them separately. I don't think they're
Well, basically what I mean is if, say, Europe and England, or not,
mm,
I guess, yeah, Europe, and then you've got the UK, and
yeah.
like if their stats are showing, oh, we're getting this and this and this, do you think the US will base that info from there, or do you
Yeah,
feel
they
like,
do. Yeah. Yeah, I think everybody, all the scientists and epidemiologists and the MDs, anywhere you can get a patient population that's doing something different that has a measurable effect, I think that they'll be looking at that. No question about that.
hmm, wow, okay, cool. Let's see, anybody else tell the difference between a regular cold and COVID as far as
Yeah.
symptoms?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a hard one, right?
Yeah, when you read the list of symptoms, they're almost the same. The only thing that's different is loss of taste, apparently. I don't have any taste anyway. I don't know where my taste buds went, but too much hot coffee. But
Yeah.
that seems to be the only one. There, There is a severity. It comes on quickly and there's more pain, and then there's also the dry cough, which are signatures. And I think I actually had it in February, and I haven't had an antibody test, which would tell me if I had it or not. And
Yeah, but that
but
only goes back for like 6 months, right?
it depends. It depends. Yeah, that's a good question. How long would it be able to tell you if you had it or not? So I'm probably maybe on the edge there, but I'd like to know if I had it or not. But
Yeah,
you're right that
I had an antibody. I had two antibody tests when we went
mm,
down. I see people talking about the Primus thing coming up.
yeah,
So yeah, I flew down. I was nervous. I thought I was going to drive, um, but I ended up flying. I talked to people who had flown and said the planes are at least with I flew on Alaska. They said the airplanes are using HEPA filters
hmm,
in the
yeah,
filtration systems in the air now on the planes, which they should have been doing from the beginning. But they're doing that now. They are spraying the entire plane and keeping people separated. So I flew down the next day, got an antibodies test, and I had nothing.
it's negative. Yeah,
And
that's good.
then when I flew home, I took a antibodies test and the what's it called, the PCR.
PCR. Yeah,
Yeah, so I took that as well, and I had nothing. So I did the
great.
whole trip, didn't get anything, and that was on a plane. I wore a mask whenever I was around people.
Yeah,
So it's there it is. There's a test right there.
yeah.
Just using the mask, and I wasn't doing anything, dangerous or crazy, but I just kind of kept my space, and I could travel, I could go do what we need to do.
Hmm.
So, but I think I remember those antibody tests saying they only go back 6 months, because I feel like you back in the end of January, beginning of February, me and my cider maker went down to Oakland to CiderCon,
Mm.
and within a day, everybody started getting sick.
Oh,
And
really?
it was that I had a coughing irritant, like just making me constantly
Yeah.
push it out. I even just stayed in my room one day, didn't feel good, so I was thinking that, and we found out later that people who were there got tested positive for it,
Mm.
because they had traveled all over the world. There were people from all over the world at the event. So yeah, I kind of think like we had people who might have gotten it as
Yeah.
well, but we weren't even testing then. So
Right.
I didn't get tested. So I wonder
Yeah.
how many of these things are, uh, these numbers are really could be much higher, just because, you know, people in the beginning didn't even get tested. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I feel the same. I often wonder if I had it too. But I got these antibody tests this was just 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So it said nothing. So I don't know if it would, go.
It would pick it up if you don't know if you'd pick it up if it was from January or February.
Yeah, does that mean that antibodies, so when you have antibody, does it always stay in your body, or does it go away?
It depends on the vaccine or the virus that you're exposed to and your immune system. I know for I used to do working in with a few infectious disease or like tissue samples and serum samples and I always had to have my vaccinations up to date, including hepatitis B antigen and so
Okay.
I would get the hepatitis B vaccine just in case something happened and I got exposed to it somehow. And
Right.
I know that one persists for a long time, like a year or more. And but the SARS might be different. It might persist for shorter amounts of time, is what I'm hearing for you. So
I see.
and I don't know how this one works. It may not be known because it's a relatively new vaccine. But if it's 6 months, we should know that already because that test has probably been around for a long enough time that we should know that. So my guess is this one may not persist for as long. And then that has an impact on this big question of, how well will the vaccine work too. So if, the vaccine will be impacted by that too. So if we inject with the RNA, it makes the spike protein. I know somebody was interested in the MOA, goat and chops, I think. And then our body raises antibodies against that spike protein, and we generate a T cell response against that. It needs to be durable, for the duration where we get through this pandemic period. And if it's not, then, well, then the rates will go down, but then the vaccine will wear off, and then people will go up again. So the way they get around that is basically by doing repeat vaccinations. So we might do one, twice a year or 3 times a year or something of that nature.
Right. Yeah, that's the way it's sounding right now. It sounds like that's what we'll be doing.
Yeah.
We'll have to just maintain these things. Well, you definitely are making it less scary if we have to get vaccinated. I mean, I do just still think back to, I guess, the flu vaccine, but also the cold virus.
Hmm.
Like, even though it's changing, I mean, how come they don't have even cold vaccines that, we
Yeah.
take them every so often?
Yeah. That virus is called rhinovirus, and it mutates a lot. And so there's
So they
and
just
in
don't
order
even want to try. They don't even
exactly.
attempt it.
Exactly. So they already know, like they can characterize the virus. They know, they know how it's changing. They know how it's mutating. They know it's changing from year to year.
Right.
And so the mutation rate is just so high. There's no way to beat it, because by the time you generate a vaccine against maybe the predominant population of viruses, that will be gone, and a new one will pop up.
Really?
Yeah. So and then it's probably some fraction of the total, cold viruses too. And the flu's similar to that. It's not quite as bad as rhinovirus, but influenza virus also mutates fairly frequently.
Wow. Shoot. Okay. Yeah. Well, dang. Yeah. Like I said, it's really, it definitely seems a little less scary after
Good,
talking to you. Yeah. I hope.
good.
What do you guys think out there? Anybody else got some questions? We need to. Do you have anything you wanted to talk about, Charles, that you think? Good. Well, just viral wise, I think we all kind of, on a general basis, understand what you're saying, unless anyone has some specific questions. I know Goob wanted me to ask you about some music stuff. Do you
All
play
right.
do you play some music?
I did play. I played bass in a band in the '80s. That was a lot of fun. We were heavily influenced by King Crimson and a little bit of Pink Floyd, and we were into Sonic Youth and maybe some prog influence too, and a lot of instrumental. It was a ton of fun. It was a very creative element, and
Yeah.
we played a lot of Jimi Hendrix and Talking Heads and The Cure, and this is all pre-Primus. This is earlier than all that, the whole
What?
grunge scene.
Come on.
Yeah.
It can't be pre-Primus.
Yeah. When did you guys start?
Oh,
That was
well, I
'90s,
mean,
right?
the band, Les had Primus going early 80s.
Ah, okay, yeah.
And
So
then
it became famous and
me and Larry joined in 89.
mm,
So,
all right. So
yeah.
definitely not pre-Primus. I just hadn't seen them.
Oh,
Yeah.
no, I understand. Yeah, Crimson, this guy's been around a long time, but
Yeah. So it was fun. It was a great creative exercise, and we learned covers first, kind of got our chops, and then we would just show up, and it was three of us, and then we would just start making music and around the room, and just making a percussive sound and doing things, and really satisfying. It was really excellent. I had this beautiful Rickenbacker 4003 bass that I that I used to play. It
nice.
got stolen eventually, and yeah, I play a little bit of guitar too. It's a lot of fun, and I've got a few. I like arch tops a lot, and I enjoy the creative aspects of music.
Yeah, do you find other kind of scientific minds get into music as well? I remember reading about Einstein and how he was a really great violinist.
Yeah, yeah. I wish I could claim that I'm really talented like him.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's Einstein. I mean, that's the most
Yeah.
famous one I can, just recall instantly. But Do you find
Yeah.
other guys, with
I would say it's not as common. I only know a few people. There's a data science guy that plays jazz guitar really well, and there's a few people in the building. There was a guy that played violin, and a few other people that played bass in some bands, and it's less common, I think. That people really that they play anyway. And then in terms of enjoying music, I don't know. We spend so much time just talking science all the time. It's like it's kind of a boring crowd. And scientists are really they're introverts. So even if they played something, you may have to drag it out of them. It's like it's really
Oh
hard to
yeah,
get, it's hard to get them to share anything. So
right,
maybe
right.
they do. Maybe they are out there, but I just don't know it.
Yeah, yeah, that could be, man.
Yeah,
Um, Thank you for coming on.
absolutely.
I'm just checking out. I wanted to see if there's anything, information we might be missing. Where do you think these things will be happening? Will it be just everybody can all the medical places will get it, or is it specific
Yeah.
spots?
My guess is that it'll probably come through the normal channels. I mean, it'll have to because they have the distribution network. So it's going
Okay.
to be at the drugstores, and your doctor's office will have it, and the clinic will have it, and maybe some people that work for big companies they might be able to bring in that service and get vaccinated on site. If those resources are there. So it will most likely come through the normal channels that we're familiar with.
Okay, I see. I see. So
Yeah.
then, yeah, it should be pretty easy for us to get. I mean, what do you think? Are you gonna, when you're able to, think you're gonna jump on it?
I'm gonna take it on TV, just like Elvis took the polio vaccine. We could do it. We could take it on your show. Um,
Oh, dude, yeah, that's a good idea. I know
yeah,
I know a nurse we could call. She could come in and if we can get a hold of it.
yeah, that's right. Maybe there'll be a black market for it. No, that's probably not a
I
good idea.
wonder, huh? That could be
Um,
crazy.
yeah, that would be pretty crazy. You wouldn't know what you're getting. Um,
Hey,
yeah,
let me ask you real quick.
yeah.
Um, when they're doing these emergency, uh, what do you call it? Just speeding it through the process for emergency
Hmm.
sake.
Yeah.
What what does that mean? And like, what are they skipping?
Fast track, yeah.
Fast tracking,
So,
yeah.
yeah, so in this case, vaccines are very well understood, and the manufacturing process is very well understood, and the characterization is really well understood, and especially this particular one, this mRNA, it's a synthetic vaccine. It's a chemical process that makes this, and so it's going to have a known impurity profile, probably no impurities. The purification will be fine. The composition will be very well defined, and so that's the easy part. So the characterization part will be easy, and they're probably not skipping anything. It's just that the process for giving a vaccine is so well understood. It's a single shot, and then you measure and take a measurement of either the blood or you take the blood test to see if you're generating antibodies against it. So this one, my guess is there's nothing to worry about.
But it's probably just the fact that they're not waiting for the side effects to have time to show, right? They're just going to
Yeah.
be like, well, we're going to trust that it's similar to a flu vaccine, right?
That's true. So long term, yeah, we didn't talk about long term side effects, and that will just take time. There's no way to predict. And the RNA when it gets injected in the arm, that should go away. Like RNA gets degraded, and so it's not going to hang around. It doesn't get integrated into your genome or anything crazy like that. It should go in, do its thing, make some spike protein, and the immune system should see that, and off to the races. And so that's pretty well that's very well understood. So we shouldn't have anything to worry about like that. And the but like so what would cause long-term safety issues? I don't know if your immune system happens to generate something against that protein that recognizes something else in your body, which is extremely unlikely because that protein is really unique and we have a good understanding of the proteins in the body. We know what they all are basically. So the long-term safety risks, we don't know because they haven't been measured, but the risk is going to be low, is what I would think.
Okay. So the fast tracking is not really something to be too worried about then.
Not at all. Not in this case.
Right. Okay. Wow. Well, that's cool.
Yeah.
Let's see here. We got anybody got any questions? We've got about 10 minutes left. We got Charles here, virologist, very smart guy, very cool guy, drinks great cider as well.
It's the best.
Yeah. And yeah, just a reminder, we've got the what Charles is drinking is this, the hops cranberry, and we've got money from these sales go to Cider for ALS, which if you missed this, go back. You can watch this. Charles talks a little bit about it, about what the ALS is, Lou Gehrig's disease. There's a question, outside activities, question mark. Well, I know, the golf
Oh yeah.
a golf course is a bit, you mean for spreading most likely, or I'm trying to figure out. I don't know. Primus details. Well, it's supposed to be released, I think, next Friday. Spread the word. And yeah, it's can't give too much away, you gotta watch it. Lots of super hunky guys, lots of yeah, right.
I saw two questions there. One, the outside thing. Yeah, I would definitely wear a mask outside too for a while. Why not? You
Oh
can make a
yeah, because
decision like if there's nobody around.
it can hang in the air for a while.
Yeah,
So you could
exactly.
walk right through it, even though someone is not there, right? Someone passed by earlier.
Yeah,
If they coughed or something, right?
yeah. Oakley makes some really nice masks. They're nice cloth, and it goes around your neck, and then you can pull it around the backside of your head, and they fit well. They have different sizes, and so that's. Do I even have one here? Yeah, I have one right here actually. That's it right there.
What is that? That's
This
the
is the
Oakley
Oakley
one?
mask. Yeah, so this part, like, here, I'll put it on for you.
So what do you know about, oh, go ahead. Yeah, you can put it on. Sorry, you need the headphones on. Wow, that looks cool. Is it comfy? Is it
Yeah, it's
comfortable?
totally comfy. Yeah, it's totally comfortable. It's got like a second pad here. You can see around here, around the mouth, and it fits tight, so it goes around the nose, and like I'm not fogging up my glasses, and you can see it fits
Oh
well
yeah.
here. Goes around the back of the head, and what's great about this is, if you're moving around a lot, like if you're out running around, like this one stays in place. It's not going to fall off. It's washable, of course, and so this is and it fits. I can't find any masks that fit when I buy them, so this one's a great one for guys with big heads like
Yeah, me
like me.
me too. I'm with you. Yeah. Well, that's by Oakley.
That's by Oakley, yeah, the
Really?
sunglasses and company, yeah.
Wow. Okay. Awesome. Yeah,
Yeah,
someone's asking if you can rewatch this. Yes, you can. You can, on Instagram now, saves these, so you can watch on the Herb Cider site. And I also have been getting them to YouTube as well. Instagram is always changing this, so it's really hard for me sometimes to download it. Sometimes I manage to do it. I don't know. I don't know what their deal is. They're always changing the way all these things function. So, Fry Guy, there he is saying UV kills it. Yeah,
true.
that's what I heard, right? UV
Yeah.
rays.
Yeah, definitely. UV, basically what it does is it makes the nucleic acids cross-link, and they quit working, and then just being outside, it'll dehydrate, and it's like denaturing, like maybe a cooked egg isn't the best analogy, but like a cooked egg, the reason it goes from largely a liquid to a solid is because of the protein is denaturing. There's protein in eggs, and so the virus is the same way. So it's got this structure, it's sitting outside for a while, and it dries out, and then it just kind of collapses, and it won't work anymore, basically. Um, the math scenario I think is like a good example is like when I take my daughter to soccer. I hang out. It's in nearby Walnut Creek, and a bunch of dads hang out. We take our girls to soccer, and
Right.
we stand around and chat with each other. We stay 6 feet away from each other, and we wear a mask,
Yeah.
and so that's kind of how that works.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's a smart way to do it. That's how I do it. Definitely. Um, All right. Well, Charles, thank you so much
You're
for coming
welcome.
on. It seems
My
like
pleasure.
I guess we kind of all get the gist of it, and we're just waiting for it to come out, I guess. So maybe we just everybody just screw it, just jump on and get it, and let's get
Yeah.
moving with life. You know,
Yeah.
I
And
don't know.
we'll see, we'll watch the news reports, and if there's
Yeah.
any safety things, they'll be there. We can Google that, and but my expectations there won't be anything major to worry about.
Right. All right. Well, once again, man, thank you, and thanks for ordering the cider. I owe you cider for doing these things, so take it easy. Charles is ordering up all the cider, you guys, so you got to get on it before he takes it all.
I will. I'm gonna sign up for a club next.
Yeah, man. Hey, that way you don't have to think about it. It just automatically happens. You'll get cider unless you're running through it so quickly. I know now with the quarantines, it's a good time. Everyone stays at home and drinks, and So, are you working at home mostly, or do you
I
go in?
am. I'm working at home. It's very challenging. My wife works from home too. She's a teacher, and she
Oh,
teaches class in
oh
the
my
next
gosh,
room. And
really?
yeah, and then we have 4 kids between 8 and 13,
Wait a minute.
twins.
How
And
is she teaching at class? Because everybody's on like Canvas. Is she actually doing Zoom lessons?
yeah, they do. Yeah, so most so no, nobody's actually on nobody's at school. Everybody's on in a Zoom classroom essentially, and then she does a lesson. She basically stands up, and she's a great teacher, great performer, and gives instructions to talks English and literature and writing skills to juniors and seniors.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So a little bit older. Yeah, I have a 9-year-old, so it's a little tougher. Fortunately, our school is one of the few that's in person, but
Mm,
no one's allowed in except the students, and
mm,
they all have masks. The kids have to wear masks, and they all have the plastic guards around their desks,
wow.
and they stay in these little pods, and uh, they've had no incidences at all.
No transmission. That's great to hear.
Yeah. So it's really cool. It's working for the kids. They're much happier, being able to see their friends and stuff. So,
Yeah, we struggle with that here a lot with our 4 kids.
oh gosh, yeah. All right, man. Well, thank you so much.
All
I'll
right.
get some. Let me know what cider you want. And I'll try and get you some. Okay.
Yeah, we'll do. Sounds great.
And thanks for the info.
You're welcome. My
All
pleasure.
right.
It's
Good
always
to
a
see
great
you,
talk
man.
to you.
I'll talk to you
Great to talk to
soon.
you. All
All
right.
right.
Bye.
Bye. All right, everybody. That was Charles Wartchow, a virologist. This is just not some guy I found off the streets. He definitely knows what he's talking about. Scientist, musician. Everybody, thanks for coming on. I'm looking at names right now, or just the comments here. Anybody got anything you want to ask real quick? We got a couple minutes left. Hey, thanks for supporting us, man. Gosh, we've been doing this for a while now. I've missed a few. Give you guys a little break. But yeah, we've been doing this for a while. It's kind of cool. I wasn't sure if we were going to keep this going, but it's kind of fun. It's easy for me. Hope it's informative and entertaining for you guys as well. And this Friday, no, today's Friday, the next Friday, go ahead. Oh, sorry, I'm getting distracted. I'm keep looking at these comments. Next Friday, we've got the Primus live at the Pachyderm station. It's Les's tasting room. And we all crammed in there, got all our gear in there, filmed everything. So they're putting it all together. We got guys putting it all together right now, and that will be ready on next Friday. The cool thing is, though, get the merch stuff. This is all one, what do you call it? A one-time specific stuff for this, like posters. I'm not sure if there's going to be, I think we might have like some shirts or jackets for this too. So check out the merch. I don't even know. I don't even know where it's at right now. So, but it's coming this Friday. Hopefully everything will be available for you to pre-order. Maybe you can do it now. I'm not sure. Well, here, what do we got? Oh, shoot, 1 minute. Yeah, go to what's it? Primusville.com. Doing it real quick. Primusville.com. Yeah. Go to primusville.com. Yep, right there, front page, info, early bird tickets and info. Be sure and get on that, you guys, because this might be a while before you get to hear the old Primus dudes do anything together. Yeah, there we go. They got stuff down there. We got masks. We got posters. So, all right, I got to go. Thank you again. Herbcider.com. You don't even need your pants on.